Hi everyone, how are you doing? My name is Rehan and I am here today from Houston with Amy Carrier to do a show on how you can start your business without money. It's Christmas time and a lot of people enjoy that. So it's Christmas holidays here in the US coming soon. Party everywhere. So we will have fun. The new stuff on Facebook. So it's more fun than just talking, right? And I look nice in the beard. एंड अस्सलाम वालेकुम एवरीवन, कैसे हैं आप लोग? उम्मीद है खैरियत से होंगे। आज मैं एमी के साथ आपके साथ हेल्प करूंगा, आपके साथ बिजनेस क्रिएट करने के अंदर। और एमी आपके सवालों के जवाब देंगी और आप अपना बिजनेस शुरू कर सकेंगे बगैर पैसों के इंशाल्लाह ताला। और आपके जो सवाल हैं उसको एमी जवाब देंगी।
Where are you?
ये मेरे मामू की दुकान है और यहाँ पे जब कोई अंदर आता है तो ऐसा लगता है कोई इमरजेंसी हो गई है, लेकिन कोई इमरजेंसी नहीं है, मेरे मामू की दुकान है। एमी, कैन यू शेयर दिस ऑफ माय पेज?
I'm trying to share it right now to the classroom.
Okay, and you can also share it on my page. So hi Amy, how are you?
Uh-oh, what did I do?
Nothing.
I'm good. How are you? Why are you dressed like a wizard?
I am a wizard. I'm a wizard of entrepreneurship. I help people start a business without money.
Yay! That's your magic skill?
Yes, that's my magic skill.
That's amazing. So I can't share anywhere other than I will disappear for a minute. You
Why?
want me to share your big page? Oh, wait, hold on.
I found a really good one yesterday or last night, which had a pugger and a nice mustache one, but I can't see it now. Oh, there it is.
Oh,
I like this one better. This suits me better with the nice beard and everything.
I don't think
Namaste everyone. How are you?
today.
What?
I said, I don't think we're going to talk about entrepreneurship. We're just going to talk about silly costumes.
I'm thinking to have a mustache like this. Suits me.
Well, it looks like you're wearing... I'm going to scroll over the comments so I can see your full face. Yeah, you're growing a Santa beard. Congratulations.
Yeah. Balle balle ji. Okay.
So, hi, Rehan. You're in a good mood.
Let me wear my glasses on my glasses so I can see some glasses. Wow, that's nice. Okay, yes. So, Amy, go ahead. How was your week? How was your business going? And what is Christmas? So people who don't, what is that? You're going upside down.
Oh no, really?
Yeah.
Messed it up. This is my magic. I can hang upside down. Whoa, I'm falling.
Okay.
Okay. I was trying to flip the phone so that I can have a better view because I'm looking at you on the opposite side of the camera lens. So sorry, it's not going to look like I'm looking at the audience. It's going to look like I'm looking at the bottom of my phone.
Yes.
I'm not an expert at using my phone for videos like you are.
That's okay. No problem.
That's okay. How am I?
We all have our faults.
I'm good. What's that?
We all have our faults. No problem. I forgive you.
That's mine. Now you know. No, I'm good. My mom is on her way here right now for Christmas holiday. And I'm feeling better, which is good.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm extremely busy. Oh my gosh, I'm so busy. In fact, I just got finishing the negotiations for a major new project. Mm-hmm. I'm talking to the audience because clearly Rehan is very distracted by his costumes at the moment. But hi, guys. How are you? I am Amy Carrier. We can't put names on this, can we?
I'm going to be a hijabi ninja today. Hiya!
You are definitely a ninja.
We should make a mask like this for women to have hijab and doing video. That's awesome.
Yeah, but if they're on video, aren't they already wearing their hijab if they wear one?
Don't know. Oh, that looks nice.
So, hi everyone. I'm Amy Carrier, and Rehan do this weekly show every Friday. And it's an opportunity for us to answer your questions about entrepreneurship and starting your career, starting a business, building your confidence. Pretty much any question you have, we're here to answer. And Rehan
asking, hey, what's the topic today?
Rehan and I offer two different perspectives. Sometimes we agree, sometimes we disagree, but this is the benefit. You get to hear from both of us as we answer every question you ask. I don't know if we're actually going to get to questions today because Rehan is having way too much fun. But I want to invite you right now to join my virtual classroom where we teach all of these things for free. 7 days a week, there's a live lesson in my classroom. It's amycarriersclassroom.com. That's the easy, fast way to get to it. It's also a group on Facebook. It's free. All you have to do is answer the 3 required questions, and you must have a Facebook profile photo and your name written in English. It's that easy to get accepted to the classroom. And I am looking forward to answering some questions today. And Rehan is being a wizard. I think you should take the wizard beard off because it's clear that you're already growing your own.
But there is no option for that.
There's no option for taking off.
Mm-mm.
So how do I get costumes? Does anybody know?
Before the show, you can get costumes.
Can you put a costume on?
Huh?
Can you put a costume on me?
No, legally, I'm not allowed to do that.
Legally? Are the Facebook police here?
No, the Pakistani police and the religious police doesn't allow that.
Okay. I just saw someone who said she's Amy, not sure Ami. Let me just tell you.
This is
I've been
our
called
Ammi
mom.
of entrepreneurship, madam and uncle, everyone. So this Ammi will tell us how to start a business, and then she will say, "Beta, you should do this. Beta, you should do this," and Beta will listen. Beta means son.
What is son?
Son.
Beta.
Ammi is mother. So you're the mother of entrepreneurship in our show. So hi, mom.
I've been called a mother since I was a kid,
There
so
you
I'm
go.
very used to it.
There you go.
So,
anybody has any
do we have
questions about entrepreneurship? Hello, guys. She did her sales pitch,
We're
so
here.
I'll do my sales pitch. Anybody who wants to start a business, you can talk with me for half an hour, but you have to go and do 13 steps, and the 13 steps are on rehan.com/startup. And if you do the 13 steps, I'll be happy to share your content, make a post about you, help you start your business. But those 13 steps do not require any money. So if you are interested, you're more than welcome to do that. Rabail is saying, Amy, you have very beautiful eyes. She's hitting on you, Amy. Okay.
I set the phone down so I can share on the other page.
Okay.
Should we have a question?
You're very beautiful. Men are supposed to be handsome, not beautiful, buddy. But it's okay. You can call me beautiful, no problem.
Anybody can be beautiful. Beautiful is subjective, and it's from the heart.
I like the mustache. I think this is my new
book. Are we going to answer questions? We're losing people.
Nobody's asking anything. They're saying, I know everything, get lost. You know, they don't really have any questions.
Okay. I have a question for you.
Why don't you make up a question?
Yeah, I'm going to ask a question of our audience, and then I want them to respond or ask questions. How are you building your future right now? What are you doing to build your future?
Who's you?
Cue the Jeopardy music. Go ahead, hum the Jeopardy music.
That question. What's the difference between entrepreneurship and a business?
Entrepreneurship is the process of building a business.
Oh, there you go. That's an easy one. Omar, you got it. So, Omar Bhai runs 3 schools. He has 2,700 students in his school. That's more than your classroom. I wish all the parents of all the students were in your classroom.
I have
And
5,000 students in
yeah,
my
right.
classroom.
They don't pay you anything. He gets $20 a month. That's a lot of money. So, which he can use to grow his school. And he's building a new school, which he wants to build totally, up-to-date version of a school. Is it a flirting class? Yes, I'm here to learn how to flirt. Can you teach me how to do that, Amy?
Where are you? That it sounds like you're in a call center. Or
I
something.
am. And that's the shop. This is the record room. And this is me. Hi.
Do we really have no other questions?
Yes, there was
I'm
one
doing
question.
what you asked. I just shared.
How to raise money with no prototype? That's a great question.
Why don't you answer that question?
Go to rehan.com/startup. Follow the 13 steps. Once you do the 13 steps, I'll be happy to teach you how to raise money without the prototype. But once you do that, then I can do that. Because that will allow you to take over your fear, which you have of doing anything, and then you can proceed further and do other stuff. Amy, do you know how to start a non-stop cash flow in 1 week? Innocent Prince. Yes, it's so easy. Take a piece of cloth if you're in Pakistan, buy some glasses for 100 rupees each, and start selling them for 500 rupees each outside a mosque. You will have non-stop cash flow. You start selling glasses instantly. What's your take on that, Amy?
I'm usually not interested in helping people get instant cash flow because it's not sustainable. I want to teach people how to build something that will work for them. Mm-hmm. So it's why Rehan and I often don't spend much time talking about franchise. If you want to build a franchise, that's great. Just do it. It's already structured business. You can set it up. You can start getting money that way. I would say if you really need money right away, tap into your existing network and look for ways to sell your expertise that you have right now in this moment. And you can work as a consultant, you can work as a freelancer just to get some money in the door. I've had to do this myself. But if you want to actually build something that has impact or makes a difference, or that will sustain you and will grow over time, it's work. It's a process. So, does that answer the question?
I don't know. If you say so.
I'm saying I don't have a costume.
Dang. You can get socks from Santa or wear it on your nose or something.
I have a costume.
There you go.
Hold on.
Rabail is asking, I'm making videos in English. Actually, it's not English, it's Punjabi English, but something. And then Urdu. My question is, I want to reach 2 lakh audience, 200,000 audience. How do I do that? So, Rabail, you have beautiful, beautiful Urdu. You have beautiful, beautiful Punjabi. Once you start speaking those languages, and once you start making videos in those languages,
there's so much noise.
You can take my uncle maybe as a guest and tell him what to do about the noise, but he likes it. So
no, I was also talking about.
Oh my God! One of us has to be serious, Amy. Come on.
Well, you weren't serious. Why should I be?
Okay, I'll just get rid of my thing. Okay. All right. So please, apna huliya sahi karo. My mom just scolded me. Oh my God!
What happened?
My mom scolded me to look like this. Okay, mother, this is better. Now it is sunnah, mashallah.
This should have been our Halloween episode.
Yes. Okay. Halloween time. What is necessary steps? Every time there's somebody comes in, I'm like, is there like a security breach or something going on? But it's like somebody's here. Come on, wake up. Assalamualaikum. Our guest here, and his name is Rifat. His name is Rifat Bajwa, and he doesn't know why we are laughing. So once he finds out, he will be very angry, maybe, or not.
Everybody's a wizard there.
There you go.
So, actually, I think that this is a good message. The thing about starting a business, it's very risky. You're going to give a lot of time that nobody's going to pay you for. You're going to have to keep trying and failing and trying and failing.
I mean,
if you don't
so this is my old friend. He's Rifat Bajwa, and he's the wizard today of entrepreneurship. Isko pakad le.
We're wearing costumes.
Okay, I'll take off the thing for you if you want.
Good.
Yeah, it looks good, right?
Yeah.
And my mother was saying,
Take off my mask.
this one the better one.
Oh, I got that. More native, eh?
More Punjabi ho
More
gaye.
Punjabi.
This is
Sikh
our
look.
Punjabi. No, this is not Sikh.
Oh, yeah, it's
This is a Gujarati.
Desi, yeah.
This is a Rajasthani.
Rajasthan
pagdi.
sort of, yeah.
Okay.
You guys
So,
are
do you
funny.
guys know each other?
Oh, my.
I don't think so. I don't
Okay.
think so. It's very
Okay.
nice to meet you. So it looks like Rehan's in an office today. Is this your office? Is this a business you own? What's going on?
No, this is my friend from 30 years. I learned, I bought my first company I purchased belonged to him, and it was called Computer Clinic, and he used to repair computers. And I went and got my monitor fixed or a drive fixed at his place, my Commodore 64.
Long time ago.
When I was 14 or
Mhm.
something. And now he has moved to Houston, and he has been very kind to drive me around, show me around, hanging out with me. For the first time, probably we've actually hung out together as friends
Yeah.
in our lives. Because when he was in
After 30
Karachi or Lahore, we were always, on our own thing. So this time he had time, and I had time, so we were just hanging out. And Rifat has
That's great.
experience in multiple fields. He has experience in textile industry. He used to sell and repair textile machinery for large textile industry. Then he went into setting up TV channels. So he has set up major TV channels like Aaj TV, Dawn News, Express.
So he's
Quite
Yeah.
also an entrepreneur. He
Huh?
builds things. He's also an entrepreneur.
He was an
So-
entrepreneur when he started his first business, but then he went off track and he started doing job. Now he is back in the entrepreneurial track. And my suggestion, and he's trying to set up an AV rental business. My suggestion to him is, since he is a green card holder, his children are American, his wife is American, and he understands Pakistan and the American side, and he's very well-traveled, well-versed. My suggestion to him was to become a bridge between US and Pakistan and bring Pakistani companies to the US as a consultant and take American companies to Pakistan as a consultant, because he has reach everywhere in high places. And he can take tours, because he said, my dream is I don't want to do anything. I just want to read books.
Oh, yeah. No, I mean,
So,
after a
so
long
that's
time.
a beautiful dream. And all he has to do now is read those books about management, consultancy, and how he can, for example, Amy's good friend is a director in Staples.
Okay.
And we talked about it that, Staples should open in Pakistan. Now, there are people in Pakistan who would be
Who
happy
need
to
to
invest
invest,
in
yes.
Staples, but he doesn't know those people.
Hmm.
So you can come on board and say, hire me on a retainer, $2,000-3,000 a month, and then I'll help you, take you to Dubai, because you have lived in Dubai, you have lived in other countries, so you can take them to other places and you can give them an insight of those places. That was my suggestion to him, but he's reluctant to do that. So maybe you can talk with him on that.
My point of view is a little different. I mean, I was thinking of coming up with a TV channel because I have a lot of experience in that field. So I was thinking of coming up with a channel which can break the communities. I mean, within the US. Like we have, I was watching, the terrestrial TV. You know about terrestrial TV? The terrestrial TV. I mean, the television which you can directly receive on your televisions with a small antenna.
No.
I thought it's
No.
obsolete.
Huh?
I thought it's finished.
No, it's not finished. Anyway, you used to having a cable TV in your home, but if you have a $5 or $10 indoor antenna, you can hook it with your TV, and you can get 150 channels, right, without paying anything to the cable TV company. So this is the way US works here, but most of the people, they don't know about it. So you can.
No, yeah.
Yeah, you can get all kind of the news channels, the entertainment channels, the drama series, everything, ethical for the channels for the minorities like Spanish, Vietnamese, Chinese. You got all kind of channels out there, and they're free to wear.
That's great.
So I was thinking of coming up with a channel which is for the community, for the South Asian specifically, so that we can have a they have to be part of this culture here. Like most of the people who migrated from South Asia, they are living their lives as they lived in their own home countries. So they need a lot of work to do so that they can mix with this culture here. But anyway, that was my thought.
Important to build community, and community becomes your network, and your network is essential to building a business. And that's actually the show that Rehan and I are doing right now. And Rehan, I have to tell you, there are lots of people requesting for us to answer questions and stay on topic. So why don't we answer some questions?
Yeah, sure.
We keep losing audience, but I would love to continue the conversation about this this television channel. I think it's interesting. I'd never heard of it, or this whatever it is.
Terrestrial TV.
Terrestrial.
Alexa, what's terrestrial TV?
What? We don't need to do that right now. I really want to honor the people who are all here right now.
We'll talk some.
So I haven't seen any questions, but the only question I saw.
I've seen a lot of questions.
It's the same question I asked earlier. It was, how can I get an audience up to 200,000 people? To get an audience of 200,000 people live, maybe you need to become a Madonna. Because even Madonna doesn't get that. So,
what did that have to do with business? I don't.
Well, she is in the business of motivational speaking.
Well, that's okay. You can't. That can be your goal, but it isn't where you start. So you start by actually doing speaking.
She already started it, and she has been doing it for a month, but she speaks in English. And
so
my suggestion to her was to don't speak in English, but speak. And she was trying to speak in English, as far as I understand, so she can improve her English language. And my suggestion to her was, don't speak in English, speak in your mother tongue, because that's where the audience is empty. They don't have anyone who speak in their language. So she can speak in Punjabi, which is her mother tongue. She speaks in Urdu, which is our national language, and nobody speaks in that language. And she's a girl. People watch it. So she did 2 videos yesterday, and normally her English videos get 40 views. She got 4,000, 5,000 views. And that's what I was suggesting her to do. Start home, start small, and then eventually become big. Do English videos also, and then you will become large.
Can't start big right away. I mean, if her goal is 200,000 and she's only been giving talks for a month, I've been giving talks for well over a decade. I'm not someone who commands an audience of 200,000 people. When you get to that level, you're getting paid $20,000, $30,000, $50,000 to speak. So you have to make yourself a plan that actually starts with, you need to have a cache, a collection of your talks. And your talks can't just be on video. You need to actually go into your community. You need to get in front of local audiences. Might be 10 people, might be 15, might be 100 people. But start, record, get some feedback, get some press, and build up your message, because it's not just about you want to be a speaker. Anybody can talk. I can sit here and talk to you forever, but unless I'm saying something that's of value to my audience, I'm not a speaker, I'm a talker.
So I would like to add something which you don't follow, because nobody talks in Urdu about motivation speaking on Facebook. Not a single human being. In your country, in the English-speaking world, there are hundreds of people speaking on motivation on YouTube, on Facebook, but nobody speaks in our language. So even if it's junk, it will still sell because there's a vacuum. Nobody is doing that. So she's a girl. She is speaking good content. She's just translating, like, you know, laws of the universe, 10 laws of success, which is amazing. And if she did it in Punjabi, absolutely nobody is doing it. So she will automatically have an audience, even if she doesn't know how to speak, even if the content doesn't matter. In your case, you have no idea what Punjabi is like or Urdu is like. I don't even know if you know the word Punjabi. So Punjabi is spoken by around 300 million people in the planet. Urdu or Hindi is spoken by 1.5 billion people on the planet. And no one is doing that in our language. So there's a vacuum. And anybody who's a teacher, who likes to speak, who comes on camera and starts speaking, oh my God, they will just go out of proportion. And as they start speaking, it will become humongous. Faisal Khanzada is saying it's not true. A lot of motivation speakers are in Pakistan. Yes, nobody of them speaks only on Facebook Live. Show me one, please. I would love to promote them. Thank you so much.
Okay, so there's definitely this is part of what I've been talking about in my work forever, which is be yourself, represent your community, your culture. Don't try to be American. Don't try to do something in English and get into an English-speaking market. There's an untapped market in your native language, which I think that's what Rehan is talking about. I just feel like I want you all to remember something that I said very early on in one of my very first lessons in my classroom was about finding your purpose. And your purpose, the secret to it is looking at your life, because your life has already set you up with the experiences. You've been born into a body, into a culture, into a country, into a religion where you're being called to work in that space. So I'm not saying that it's exclusive, that you should only speak in Punjabi or Chinese or whatever, but start with what you know. Look at the gifts that you already have and market those and see what the opportunities are. Someone asked earlier for us to talk about Bitcoin. I'm not going to talk about Bitcoin. I highly, highly, highly recommend that you join Amy Carrier's classroom and participate in Alex Bertlin's weekly class on cryptocurrencies every Sunday. He's incredible. Absolutely incredible. He has a live video today or yesterday on his personal page talking about all of the currencies. They're going up and down and all sorts of stuff. That's who you want to be following. There's another gentleman that I've met through Rehan, who I know he tuned in at the beginning of this video. What's his name? Benjamin?
Benjamin is too busy for answering anybody right now. He's going to be a billionaire soon.
So, okay, Benjamin isn't. Then join my classroom, because even if Alex is a billionaire, he's still going to teach you. He's great like that. So we have some other questions. Someone asked a question about he wants to start a dental business, but he has no money, and I've lost. Here it is. Rakshi Khan says, I'm a dentist, but I don't have any money to start my own clinic. Please advise what to do. Rehan, you have a very short and simple answer for that?
I can't hear anything because there's so much background noise. Rehan
Okay.
said, I was trying to impress to Amy. Yes, I'm trying to impress Amy with my long beard and big mustache and old hair here. Amy, are you impressed with my long beard? Please, please be impressed.
Maybe if it were real, I'd be impressed. A long time. Takes a long time to grow a beard, I think. Okay, so looking for questions. Please name a few crypto. So Alex Bertlin, in my classroom, Amy Carrier's classroom on Sundays, he actually streams live from Sweden at a time that still works for everybody here from Pakistan to participate. So look for questions. What are your questions? I finally got Rehan focused. So what are your questions? Leland says, I think you're mistaken, Rehan. There are many speakers. And then he provided a link. I don't know what the link is to.
So Leland Googled motivational speakers in Pakistan in Urdu. Leland, they are there, but they don't come on Facebook Live and speak as this girl is doing every single day. That's her edge. She's doing it every single day, nonstop, in English. Instead of doing it in English, if she does it in Urdu, she will have much more bigger audience. That's what I was saying.
Well, I think everybody has a platform. Facebook is for everyone, but certainly those of you who are tuning into us today, Facebook might be a valuable platform for you. But if you're going to speak, and I'm thinking of, there's a woman, a Pakistani woman who's a motivational speaker. I've seen some of her talks. There's
the number one is called Shireen Naqvi. She has created hundreds of motivational speakers, but none of them come on Facebook Live and do.
Okay, so what I'm saying, Rehan, is that Facebook Live isn't the only platform, and that whether you use Facebook Live or not, you can't do 100% of your work on Facebook Live. You have to local audiences, and the woman.
Well, I disagree because my work is about reaching out to the bottom of the pit, which cannot afford to buy a 1,000 rupee ticket or a $10 ticket, or it's expensive to travel, and girls are not allowed to travel by their parents to go out in different places and speak. So therefore they can sit in front of their phone and start speaking instead of starting speaking to their husbands or brothers or mothers or fathers and getting upset. Speak to the world, and people are there to listen. There's a lot of cultural limitation in our country, which is different. And once you're popular, once your parents trust you, they will go with you. And then they will take you to the places in real world to speak, which is great.
We have it from around the world, not just Pakistan. For several.
Oh, well, I was talking to a girl who was in Pakistan.
Okay, that question was 25 minutes ago, so I'm trying to move on.
Yeah, he was waiting for you. You said you went back in 30 minutes. But he was waiting.
Rehan said, are you interested? I recommend you launch your own coin. If you become the CEO, like, we can start a launch this week. I don't have anybody to run an organization who can run a coin. Therefore, it's being delayed. Like everything else in the world, I am the lazy daisy boy.
From Harman Maria. Call from Harman Maria.
He says, can you point out tools and methodology to figure out the directions one should take in life? So my recommendation for you, Waleed, is whoever's writing angry faces, they're not helping. So I invite you and encourage you to just put hearts across the screen while I'm talking. So Waleed, I have a video where I'm talking about life purpose. And through all of my coaching, which I'm going to be focusing on, thank you for the hearts and the laugh faces. Thank you. That's very helpful. In the new year, in Amy Carrier's classroom, I'm talking more about this. But my video that's on YouTube that you can find there is about finding your life. And there really are some simple hints for you to find that. And they start with the child. So number one, what did you love doing as a kid? Did you like to tinker with technology? If you liked doing something like that as a kid, that's an innate. Innate means inborn that you into enjoy doing for the rest of your life. So look in those directions. Something else you can do when you think something, what is it that you want to do? Do you want to read? Do you want to write? Do you want to bake? Do you want to, teach yourself how to program a computer? Those are the types of things that you will want to do for a job or building a business. Beyond that, I encourage you to go to my YouTube channel and watch. It's well over, it's probably like an hour and 15-minute video. There's also a short 15-minute version that I recorded that I encourage you to watch as well. So someone's saying that my voice is breaking up. Oh no. So do we have some more questions? I would like to talk to your website developer team to take it forward. Who are you talking to? Laiki Patel?
It's pronounced Laik.
Laik?
Yes. And Laik, in order to launch a Bitcoin or a coin, you don't need a website or anything. If you want the team, I don't have any team, consider it non-existent. You can arrange other people and work with them and create something.
Asif Siddiqui says, Rehan, you are cutting Amy while she is speaking many times. Be respectful to other person.
What?
Thank you, Asif. I appreciate it.
I'll take a toilet break. Amy, go ahead and speak.
Oh. So, Asif says, Amy, your voice is not clear. Can you give me some new comments? Is the connection still poor? Can you hear me?
It's fine now.
You can hear me? Is I breaking up for you, Rehan?
Not anymore.
So what other questions do we have? How can we help you start your business? Your courage. All right. How do I say that again?
Like.
So he says, what do you think about India as business opportunities? I'm probably not the best person, probably 20, but I do think that India is already shown us break down some ways of thinking and keeping people involved because of caste system beliefs as being very quickly moving forward. And I believe that India will become so build something. One of the early players in India building solutions that can then expand locally to, maybe Pakistan, Afghanistan, China, and then spread into the West. Just like you guys are all talking about cryptocurrencies, be an early problem solver. And join Amy Carrier's classroom so that you can build your skills. I mean, that's the thing about this show. We do it once a week and we spend half hour watching Rehan and and bells, all sorts of things. So you don't get a ton from, but we're here to help you solve your problems and direct you to solutions. And one of those solutions is my virtual class. I just had a conversation with a gentleman today who has received a large amount of money to teach 20,000 women in Afghanistan how to build their careers and become entrepreneurs. So I'm going to be partnering with them. And I think that there's tremendous opportunity. Come into the classroom. The more the classroom grows, the more free access you're going to have to the deeper lessons that you need. So Hamid Safi says, guys, how to join your community, but I'm not fluent in English. My friend, in my classroom, you're welcome to practice learning English. The English lesson, questions, and ask. Adding English instructors in 2018 who will help you to learn business English. People like your hat, Rehan.
I know. He is Ernesto Verdugo. He should be in your classroom as a mentor for the Hispanic community. He's a marketing expert.
All right, Ernesto, let's connect. And by that, I mean, you have to understand, Facebook Messenger has just blown me up. It's not my priority because I have to do my job. Find a creative way to get to me. Sorry, I just can't keep up with Facebook. I have way too many messages. So, Rehan, can you get rid of background sound?
Go to the toilet.
Voice is death. Voice is breaking up. So I apologize. Rehan wanted to do this goofy costume thing, so I had to do it on my phone rather than I usually hardwire my computer to make sure my connection's really good.
It's not the connection, it's the background noise, which is basically interrupting your voice.
So my YouTube channel, Musa Ali Haidari, is Amy Carrier Empowers. You can also follow me on my YouTube channel, Classroom, my Twitter, everything is right there. If you can laugh at yourself, you win. That's actually a tip I was trying to make earlier when Rehan was interrupting me. I was saying that the reason I put on my masquerade mask, in addition to feeling really left out by Rehan, I thought he was going to put costumes on me as well. You have to maintain a sense of humor. You have to learn how to get over obstacles, to overcome failure, and to lift yourself up after you fall down. You can't be a successful entrepreneur, business owner, just an innovator in the world right now unless you can deal with the disappointment and find ways to pull yourself back up. It's okay to feel awful and be in a bad mood for a day and feel, cry, get it out, but wake up the next day or 3 days later and find a way to lift yourself back up. Okay, looking for questions.
There's a question called Asif is asking, what is entrepreneurship?
Entrepreneurship is the process of believing that you can become an entrepreneur, and being an entrepreneur is building something that doesn't exist in the world. And you can do that through building a
अच्छा जी मैं जरा इंटरव्यू पे हूँ थोड़ी देर में बात करता हूँ
building a network,
building
an organization or business. And the steps to doing all of that are interestingly quite similar, but it all starts with you having the confidence and the belief in yourself that you can do it and that you will not give up when you fail, because you will fail. It's inevitable. There's not a single person in the world who has embarked on becoming an entrepreneur who hasn't failed. I just posted in Amy Carrier's classroom yesterday this great video about Elon Musk. It's all of his failures. He launched a rocket in 2005, and within 30 seconds, he lost it. Millions and millions of dollars gone. 2006 did the same thing, failed, the rocket crashed. 2007, same thing, rocket crashed. So you have to have resilience, belief in yourself, to follow all of the steps that are involved, coming up with your concept, doing your market research, coming up with your elevator, and how are you selling? There's a question here about, can you help us figure out how to turn business? You're going to have to do build your product. Some prototypes can actually be created through 3D. So find someone locally who has a 3D. Much noisier now, right?
Hi, Amy. Can you say something?
Yeah, it's very noisy where you are, and we can't quite hear you. The connection's really bad.
Yeah, we have an option to hear two people gossiping or hear the car noise.
Do you have your car? Can you get in your car?
I just came out, so it shouldn't be so bad now.
Okay, there's a little street noise.
Yeah.
So I just saw another question, or maybe a comment.
Laik wants to know how you know me and where did you meet the weirdo?
Mazar Mira said it's about making mistakes and enjoying the ride. That's absolutely correct. So how did I meet Rehan? I met Rehan 3.5, almost 4 years ago at a birthday party, my friend's brother's birthday party. And Rehan was being hosted here in my city by another friend of mine. So my other friend was there, as he typically is.
Another friend?
Several people. My friend Amit had several people with him, a guy from Africa, this guy from Pakistan, and someone else. And I met all of my friends' friends, and Rehan was one of them. That's how I met him.
There was another question by someone. Was a very good question. Can entrepreneurship be taught?
Yes, I'm an entrepreneurship teacher. That's all I've ever done.
So in his opinion, entrepreneurship cannot be taught. So you guys should definitely have a show together about talking about that.
I don't really need to have a show, because if you think you don't need to be taught, that's fine.
He teaches entrepreneurship also, but he thinks that it cannot be taught. There is other essence beyond that. It's what he means by that question is a very important question, and that is something. For example, universities and colleges say, "Oh, you can do an MBA in entrepreneurship, and then you'll become an entrepreneur." So that's what he's talking about. So that's something which
it all depends.
That's something which he's talking about.
Everybody, I understand. Everybody learns differently. I know how to teach entrepreneurship, and the reality is, even if you take an entrepreneurship class, whether it's something like mine, which is non-formal, or something like I used to do, which was in a school, everybody learns differently, and not everybody is ultimately going to be an entrepreneur. The entrepreneurship school at MIT, it's very well known that, first of all, MIT, so supposedly these are the most brilliant students who go there, that only 10% of the students who go through that program will actually start a business. So it's a process, and it's inside of you. The seed to build something is in you. You might be interested and curious. You might take a class at a university or teach yourself, but it doesn't mean. There are many, not just, it can't
बच्चों को बता दिया
Also, you can also say can and can't be learned, or it can't be inspired. So it's very, there are many factors.
मामू हम एक शो करते हैं बिजनेस शुरू करने के ऊपर, आप उसमें 1 मिनट के लिए गेस्ट आ सकते हैं.
So Hamid Safi says, don't
This is
ignore
my uncle. He has been an entrepreneur all his life, and this is Amy. And she is in Boston, and she is an entrepreneurship teacher.
Don't hear it when.
Amy,
तुमने अभी सवाल किया था, what is the difference between an entrepreneur and
a businessman.
क्या
Yeah.
जवाब दिया उन्होंने?
Amy, can you tell him again what's the difference between an entrepreneur and a businessman?
Well, an entrepreneur is someone who wants to build a business that doesn't exist.
Okay.
But
Unlike a new business.
yeah, new business. But ultimately, if an entrepreneur continues with that business and builds it, there's really no difference. It's like your brothers or cousins. The skills that you need to run your business are very similar, but the skills needed to start up a business that doesn't exist, to create a market, to find customers before any example of success exists, that's a different skill set.
Right. So that's entrepreneur. Okay.
Yeah.
Or need, okay.
Maybe you can ask him some tips for the entrepreneurship. He has, like, all his life he has done nothing but started businesses.
That's only one
Nice.
business.
Huh?
Let's see if we have a question you can answer.
Okay.
You can inspire someone to become an entrepreneur, but you can't teach them in a class, by the end of which they'll graduate as an entrepreneur. I actually, Kurum, I actually disagree, because I've done this with high school students, hundreds of high school students. It's everybody's different. There's no one rule that will work with absolutely everyone.
Perfect.
Yeah. So I'm looking for, tell me your name again, sir. I missed that because I was
My name is
talking.
Asif. ASIF. Asif.
Awesome. It's a pleasure to meet you. So I'm looking for Hamid Safi. You can ask your question again. I can't scroll up that far on my phone. So ask your question again, and we will ask Asif.
Kabla.
So this is how I will look like in a few years. If you want to see how I will look like in future.
Rehan, you seem to have more gray hair than Asif does.
Technology.
That's called technology of coloring.
Well done, Asif. Well done. I keep inviting that one gentleman to post his question again, but he's not posting it again.
There was a very interesting conversation going on here, and he was about to tell a story of a guy on the beach was sitting and fishing. Can you tell that story again? That's a really good story.
If you know it, then
She doesn't know it. No, I don't know it properly. That's why I'm asking you this time.
I don't know why that thing came up. Well,
he wanted you to
different opinions.
Yeah.
Different people have different opinions.
Yeah.
Well, that story, well, it goes like this: that, for example, a man was walking on the beach and he saw another man who was on the beach. He was lying on his back with this the fishing rod in his hand. He was trying to catch a fish. So, and the man was walking and said, "What are you doing?" He said, "I'm trying to catch a fish." He said, "Well, okay, it's good, but why don't you get a net? Throw it in the sea and you'll get more fish." He said, "Okay, good idea. So what will happen then?" So then you can buy a boat and go in the deep sea and you can buy more fish. I said, "Yeah, that's a good idea. Then what will happen then?" So then you can buy a trawler and you will make a lot of money. I said, "Good. Then what will happen then?" Then you will be so rich, you will buy a small island and you will sit on the beach and catch a fish. I said, "Well, that's what I'm doing."
Right.
So,
that is a great example of an entrepreneur, because once you've achieved your goal, you're going to start from zero again. You're going to build something else new.
No, well, my theory was that if you are relaxing, you are relaxed, everything is going fine, Why jump into something else to get to the same point where you are now?
Why
They-
bother growing your business? That's a great point, which is a very,
Well,
very
it's a
important question.
conservative type of idea, but not for young generation. They have to jump in and they have to learn themselves how the business was created. So then,
Yeah, so I see it as a very different metaphor. I see it as you're always going to be curious, and that curiosity will push you to do more, to try to do things better, to be more successful, to have greater results. Hence, going from laying on the beach to using a net to throwing a net in the ocean, you're always going to want to move forward. That's human nature. So you'll get bored laying there on the beach. So I actually see it as this is the process you'll go through if you are motivated to become an entrepreneur. And you'll end up finding yourself on another beach starting again.
yeah,
And that's okay. It's good.
Yeah, that's right. Find another beach.
Here is another situation which my uncle is in, and he asked me to help him with that. So Amy has MS, which means multiple sclerosis, which means that she cannot even hold her hand properly. It's always moving, and she cannot walk properly. And so she built an organization to help people with MS in the past. So my uncle has a son who is autistic, and he wants to build a community of people who have children with autism, and they're Muslims especially because they have we have, like, for example, Muslims don't eat pork. Their women are not supposed to meet men who are, not their family. So what should he be doing? We'll give him some tips on that. Did I explain it properly, the question?
Somewhat.
Yeah, he wants to actually
Well, I want to get the people in Houston who have children with autism to get together and talk with each other. So something can come out of
Yeah.
it. That's what my
Yes.
idea is.
A
Because,
lot comes out of it.
the schools, or whatever you can say, the houses which are here now, they are okay. Yes, how are you, Dina?
Okay. So you're waiting for
So
Yeah.
what
okay.
what Asif is asking, Rehan, I'm going to answer that question. I don't know where he went, but I'm going to answer that question.
Customer first.
So what Asif is asking is social entrepreneurship. So he wants to, there's a cause, and he wants to have an impact. And anytime you're doing anything that is social, you have to build the community. This is why I have used my experience and my knowledge of building community to build Amy Carrier's classroom. Because the impact I want to have does not start with I want money. I can make money in other ways. I want to have impact. Once I build up to a certain population in Amy Carrier's classroom, I will turn it into a business that has a revenue generating stream in addition. But that's not how you start. And there were people who said to me, well, it's still, even I had a phone call today, how are you making money off of Amy Carrier's classroom? And I said, I'm not. And neither are any of the mentor teachers. But we are doing something that is that is of value, and that is building our following, building our reputation. Your reputation is the most valuable thing you will ever have, ever. Once you have a good reputation, that is worth your weight in gold. So that will turn into money. People watch my videos, they get a feel of who I am, how I communicate, what I personally stand for, and that will turn into offers for me to make money. It will also turn into the way I will be able to get my work building Amy Carrier's classroom, the paid platform, get it funded, or we might not even need funding. We might be able to start right off the bat making money just from our products. But what Asif just asked has to start with building the community. And when he comes back, is he close to coming back, Rehan? Okay, so maybe you can relay this to him.
There was
Oops,
a
sorry.
there was a one-time fluke in 70 years. That happens only once in 70 years.
Okay, well, what you can tell Asif is, first of all, what he wants to build is from the heart. So you can just know that whatever you believe in, God, universe, spirit, is behind you supporting this because the world needs it. And there is such a need right now outside of schools for people to be building compassionate communities that are meeting the needs of students with autism and students with physical disabilities that are not being met inside schools and that are just simply not going to be met because of all of the crisis that's happening, crises that are happening in education around the world. So we have to take it back that that notion that it takes a village to raise a child is very, very true. We can't just assume that we send our children into school buildings and they'll be nicely taken care of, and then 12 years later they'll be produced, and boom, there's a fully developed, matured, and loved, and safe, and knowledgeable young person. It just doesn't work that way. Every member of the community has to step up and be compassionate. And it's two ways. So building this community for autistic children, it starts with educating the adults. What do adults need to do for autistic children? Now, I've done work specifically for autistic teenagers and young adults. They need jobs.
तो आप ही के लिए
And they,
मैसेज छोड़ दी अगर आप चाहें तो
मैं दोबारा क्या सुनूंगा?
वो recording होगी.
अच्छा.
He's back, so you can explain.
Yes.
But he is
So-
afraid of using Facebook. He doesn't want to learn. He doesn't want to learn WhatsApp, and he wants to somehow get his message out to those people who have children with autism. So I don't know how he wants to do
उसको
that.
मेरा इंटरव्यू सुना देना. वो देख के ज़्यादा बता सकेंगे.
उर्दू में ना सर.
Oh.
so Rehan,
Okay, sorry.
Rehan,
Yes, ma'am.
I'd love to answer this question, but it's much longer than we have time for right now because I have a phone call very soon.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't so I don't even know, Asif, are you Rehan, are you staying with Asif?
I can give you his number. You can give him a call or do a video call or do a safe Facebook Live with him later on and do it with him. Talk to him.
So how long are you going to be there together today?
I'm leaving. I was just
30
waiting for this show. Rifat is here to pick me up.
Okay, so this is a much bigger thing, and what I would like to do, because
You were saying something about autism, that you have done that. You have done something about it.
I have. So let me just really quickly, we'll transition to just, I'll give you some overall guidance for what you need to do. What you need to do is actually build a community of adults who you can teach how to support children with autism. So not just the parents of children with autism, you need to find the business owners who are willing to be trained in how to hire children with autism for jobs. And this will require you doing some training for local business owners, adults, people who are willing to bring children with autism into the workplace and mentor them. And that means that these adults are the ones who have to be trained. So the community that needs to be built is with the adults. And make sure that that community is diverse with teachers, with educators who work with children with autism, so they have the expertise, with the business owners who are willing to say, yes, I'll bring children, teenagers, young adults, 25-year-olds with autism, I'll bring them in and give them jobs. Bring all of these people together, and compassionate, maybe uncles and grandparents who are willing to be there and say, this is how my grandson is. He needs patience. He needs someone, he's great at numbers. He's great at organizing papers. What overwhelms him is noise. So he needs a very quiet office, and he needs one adult, maybe one manager in the workplace who he can ask questions of constantly. And what that might mean is that he's going to interrupt you all day long. So if you can find a professional person, a manager, or just an employee in a business who is willing to take on for a few months that kind of young man, who's willing to be interrupted and not get upset and understand, this is how I learn how to work with young people with autism, how I learn how to be patient, and how I can then turn around and help my company hire more people with autism, because they are incredibly smart, they are incredibly talented, and they will be very valuable hires for businesses. But the businesses are the ones who have to relearn management.
Okay.
So, and I can give you just this overall, this is what you need to do, but it's ultimately, you have to spend time with your community, find that village that's going to raise these children, and say, all right, how can we meet their needs? Autistic children are very, very different. And what I know for sure, there are more and more of them because they are teaching us how to be better, how to be more compassionate, how to be more patient, how to listen better, and how to change our business practices so that we can ultimately be better, just be better people. So that's why there are a lot of growing pains in terms of building a business that's actually serving this population. And it's good work that you're doing. And it is, what you're talking about doing is starting a social innovation, social entrepreneurship. You're serving a public good. You're not focusing on the bottom line of your company first. You're focusing on doing good for your community.
Thank you.
You're welcome. There's a lot to it. This is on the education side of my work, but anything you can do to pull together a group of people to open and have dialogue, that's the best place to start. And I will also tell you that in my classroom in the new year, one of my dearest friends is specialized in teaching people how to do this. And she is going to be teaching in my classroom. Her name is Tony Saunders. She's going to be teaching people how to be better at building communities around young people who have special needs. That could be physical disabilities, it could be autism. And autism is a spectrum disorder. So some autistic people are just very factual and they can't read emotion. Some autistic people are less functioning and they can do jobs like just counting, you know? So if you have a job in the back end of your business that involves inventory and counting where they don't have to interact with anybody else, that's a good job for someone who is on the low functioning side of the autism spectrum. It's all going to depend on knowing your community and remembering that children with autism are going to be growing up nonstop in your community, and they're going to need to be employed, and you will benefit if you have the patience and if you're willing to change your thinking to help support those children as they become young adults.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All of them,
Very nice.
that's the thing. If there are 10 autistic people, they're all different.
Yes, very different.
Because my son did work at a place, it's in downtown, it's called the Center, where the big companies send their things to be assembled, like nuts and bolts or parts of the cars. But he could not do it. And he also has attention deficit. So he would not concentrate on anything. And then finally the school said, well, he has to go.
Yeah. Hard because, and a lot of people just get turned off at that point because they say, oh my gosh, I had a terrible experience with an autistic person. I'm never going to.
Yeah,
but everybody's different. And I'll tell you that there's so many solutions that now exist for families of autistic children. I have a good friend. His name is Ned Sahin. He's a PhD from Harvard and from MIT, and he has found a solution using Google Glass for young people with autism. Through the program that runs through Google Glass, the young people are learning how to identify emotion, and they can wear those glasses in the workplace in order to function. And Ned's business is called Brain Power. It's located here in Boston. And so there are things like that. I mean, there's so many solutions that exist to help people with autism function more in society, but society also has to meet the people with autism, in my opinion, more than halfway.
Yeah. Alrighty, we have to go. I'll send you his number and you can interact with him and do a show with him if you can. It would be a favor. I can use a card for that, so it'll be a great favor. Thank you, everyone. There were great questions. Some people are upset that we're speaking in English. So भाइयों, जिन लोगों को इंग्लिश में प्रॉब्लम आ रही है, आप लोगों के लिए जुमेरात को इसी टाइम पे 10 बजे पाकिस्तान टाइम पे उर्दू में प्रोग्राम होता है, आप उसमें ट्यून इन कर लीजिए। ये एमी को उर्दू नहीं आती है तो मैं इनसे उर्दू में बात कर नहीं सकता हूँ। हम आपको शो मारने के लिए यहाँ पे इंग्लिश नहीं बोल रहे, उनको ज़बान नहीं समझ में आ रही है। जिस तरह आपको चाइनीज समझ में नहीं आती है, इस तरह इनको उर्दू समझ में नहीं आती है। दुनिया में और भी किस्म के लोग रहते हैं, सिर्फ उर्दू बोलने वाले नहीं रहते। उर्दू बोलने वालों के लिए जुमेरात को प्रोग्राम होता है, अंग्रेजी समझने वालों के लिए जुम्मे को प्रोग्राम होता है, आप उसको ट्यून इन कर लीजिएगा। सो थैंक यू एमी फॉर टेकिंग आउट द टाइम।
So you're welcome. Let me close out. I'm trying to learn some Urdu, but because I speak English and I don't have a ton of time to learn it, I only know que se hablo. I should have said that at the beginning. I hope you all are well, and I invite you to join Amy Carrier's classroom. It's a great place to learn more in depth and to ask your questions. I say this every week and I'm so sad that every single Friday there's so many questions that we can't. You can ask your questions in my classroom, and we have a dozen mentor teachers and other class members who all participate in answering your questions. Ask your questions in my classroom. You have to be proactive enough in your own education, in your own learning, and ignore fun while I'm talking to you to get what you need. So if you didn't get it here, it's because your odds were not very good, but we're happy that you're here. AmyCarriersClassroom.com, easy way to get to the classroom. It is where you can practice your English, and I encourage you to also subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is Amy Carrier Empowers on YouTube. That is where you will be able to watch every single one of my previous lessons. And thank you all for being here today. And I don't know if I'll be with you next Friday. We'll see. I never know where Rehan is, but my mother will be here, so I might not be available. Okay. Thank you all so much. Rehan?
Rehan is gone for a washroom, for a while.
Okay. So he's gone for what?
He's going to washroom.
Oh, he's in the washroom. Yeah. Okay, let me see. He actually needs to end this call. I don't know how to end it otherwise.
Okay, let me finish it.
How are you? How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm good. That's good. Great to listen to you. I mean, it's a great cause you're working for. It's really impressive.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hope to be in touch.
Yes, absolutely. Connect with me. Sure. Rehan always has his phone, so he can connect us right after we finish this call. I would love to be connected and communicate more. Yeah.
Okay. So take care. See you soon, hopefully. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.